Không biết có gió to không nữa. Tôi vừa mua một quạt. Thì xuyên trước tôi nói là cái quạt tôi hư rồi, giờ mua lại quạt mới. Cầu mong nó không hư nữa, sợ lắm rồi. Uầy, nóng vãi, không chịu được. Hôm nay nói chung là ngày khá là tuyệt vời. Hôm nay tôi học được một số bài vỡ, kiểu tôi học phát tôi hết luôn bánh chưng bánh tét luôn. Đó là refresh, mai refresh này. Bây giờ tôi lại nhìn qua bên toán thì tôi cảm giác như là tôi sắp chết rồi. Thì chắc là thứ sáu mới kiểm tra bạn ơi, chứ kiểm tra sớm đâu. Cái này đâu có học đâu, kiểu nó không có học trước ấy, chứ không phải là nó không có học theo cái ý kia, hiểu không? Yeah, chúng ta làm xong quest cho nó nhanh nhanh đi. Qua tôi cũng chạy quest nhiều, không nhiều lắm, sau nó lại như thế. Hôm qua end quest đúng ảo, đúng nhảm luôn, tôi thề. Quả quest end chán đến mức đấy là cái sự kiện nhảm nhất mà tôi từng biết, thật sự thề với các bạn luôn.
Hey, you over there?
What do you want, man?
Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TC?
Hey, come on
Okay.
now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? All right.
But why would you be?
There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play cards. Sure.
Great!
I thought you would have already heard everything by now.
Why don't you?
All right. Have you heard it then, did you? There are two guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quisto. I never really found the gossip very mind-blowing. And it's pretty much just the same stuff that I hear about. If you're interested, you can go talk.
Good to know. Do you have anything else to tell us?
Let me think. Sounds like you want... Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the fortress of Meripede before?
Huh? Wait, are you serious?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising up to become the warden, though. To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie, I kinda respect that. A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of that.
It's just a rumor we've been hearing.
Anything else?
Ok, là hết rồi. Thì cái khá là ngon, cảm ơn rất nhiều. Tôi nghĩ là đến act 5 thì không biết nữa, nếu mà chạy quest nhanh thì làm quả act 5 luôn cho nó cháy như Free Fire luôn mà đây. Cái này con này tôi vẫn nhớ đổi hình luôn, hoặc có thể không nhớ lắm. I don't know, man. Hốp xuống, có thể là thế. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what to do, man.
Look, there are some people talking over there.
Right here. What happened?
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like that.
Speak for yourself, mate!
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us. I've heard that even if you're released after serving your sentence, going back to life on the surface ain't any better. Once a criminal, always a criminal. Or marked for life.
Không nghĩ là nó không gì đặc biệt đâu. Thứ nhất là nó có thể đấm mày 2 phát và mày sẽ tạch. Cái khối cơ đấy thì tôi nghĩ điều đấy là có thể xảy ra. Cũng chưa chắc là đã là tội phạm thì sẽ mãi mãi là tội phạm. Này chỉ dành cho những người đã bị làm tội phạm thôi. Và chúng ta đều là tội phạm mà, đừng lo. Và một ngày nào đấy thì chúng ta sẽ biết rằng những gì mà chúng ta đang làm nó đều dính đến phạm pháp, chỉ là không có cảnh sát trước mặt thì mọi thứ nó vẫn ok. Và mình đứng trước camera thì nó cũng là một phần của tournament.
I don't. Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and every?
What kind of filthy bilgewater you spewing? I have family up there. You best shut your soup. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your... Who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
And what makes you think they want to hire someone like you? It's one of the great mysteries of the universe, how someone as useless as you is so confident.
Này nhá, những cái người mà cơ bắp như thế này người ta có thể khuân vác, người ta có thể làm máy móc, có thể tăng suất hơn cả mày luôn. Thế nên đấy, đến đây rồi, vì tao không phải người thuê mày này. Yeah.
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. That's true.
Vậy là bọn này cũng khá đặc biệt, vì tôi cũng không để ý lắm. Lối ra không có người canh, chắc là trên nó trên nó có lính mà. Ra kiểu gì?
There's a group of people over there.
Let's
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two? Why'd you come over all of a sudden?
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking about something private.
Yeah.
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's all.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Fine. You're lucky we don't mind extroverts that much.
Okay.
You hear that, Quisto? What nice!
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right? But before that, it just so happens that I know you two.
Really? Are we that famous?
You're kidding. How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself?
Little mistake, huh? I like the way.
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually
Ah,
call us the
Fontaine.
Bombshell Bros, but don't worry. We're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information is always so explosive, and we blow minds.
So, you two really like to gossip? Ooh, you sure know how to embellish.
No, you don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for you here. Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know? You should prove your worth.
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play nice and say something to massage his ego. The welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious. Paimon can still taste it whenever she closes her eyes.
Đấy từ tí nha.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen assistant for about a month.
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing. You could be a professional chef.
You are correct. Since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen, Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Risley. He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care about something, then he often doesn't bother dealing with it.
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks. Even better treatment in the infirmary.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all. Why does he visit the infirmary?
But did you know that Jurier was a talented researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute?
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the Fortress of Maripede, you're just another inmate like him.
Infirmary.
Speaking of which, the last time I saw him...
You mean he hit a woman? Wow.
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a fight with a man, and she also got sent to the infirmary. Come to think of it, I always see her going to the sick bay.
Sick bay.
Wait a second. You know, do you think could it be that they're secretly meeting there? After all, I do remember.
Lauren visit. Ok.
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone.
Vậy
And
là
it's about time for us to go.
product zone, gặp nó để mà nói chuyện. Product zone là tầng này. À, ở trên cao. Nó không gặp ở dưới đâu, nó gặp trên cao.
According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
Yeah. Ấy chà, đúng là living way, đúng là cái chỗ quay chém đẹp đấy, đẹp vãi. Như này. Nói tôi không nghĩ là tôi có thể mang kiếm trong nhà tù. Càng quá. What?
Huh?
Let's go.
Look in your eyes. You found something?
Yeah.
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of information.
Oh, as expected of the legend.
Samurai. Good.
Huh. I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreal. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him credit for. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out Master Child. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to test someone with
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the task.
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted... It's the least I can do. We're all in this together. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing...
Collecting information.
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace Master Child's original route. And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long
đây là dự
time.
đoán rồi, bắt
We
đầu.
know each other's capabilities like the backs of our hands.
Tôn này nó cứ bị tách cái gì vậy?
Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're at it, too. Oh,
Sure.
and there's just one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving mission. So,
What do you want us to do? Will it...
well, I won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already met the head nurse, so she'll be less suspicious of you. Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings within, and pass those on to me alongside anything else you're able to discover. But also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first.
Ok, nghĩa là bây giờ tôi sẽ đi
My apologies. I just started rambling out of habit. It was almost...
But that's not a bad thing, right? All right, then we'll head out.
Let's go our separate...
Let's go. Nghĩa là bây giờ tôi sẽ đi gặp con đấy à? Infirmary nghĩa là giống như là vẽ bản đồ xung quanh và đi gặp con này.
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek. There seem to be several people inside.
Yeah.
to understand them from here. So, why don't we just try to talk to them in person? Let's go as soon as...
Let's go. Cái gì vậy?
Someone, please help! She's sick!
Bây giờ con bé Mon này cho nó bú một cái gì à? À, nó ngửi cái lọ kia sao?
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin.
Không có người nurse nào mà như này.
The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do. Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Could it be poison? Let me take a look. Please lie down over here.
What the fuck? God.
Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly.
Ít ra nó phải thế.
You can do it, traveler. Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you.
Sẽ kiểm tra như này.
My checkup has confirmed that she's not in any mortal danger. That's our worst fear out of the way. Eh? Oh, that's good. But I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please, relax and take a deep breath. Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here? And here? Huh? But based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be a problem here.
Không, bởi vì tao không có lựa chọn nào khác nên tao phải bấm thôi, chứ nếu như mà tao có lựa chọn khác thì
What about here? Does this hurt? Oh, I understand. So that's what it is. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up.
cái quả crepe này mông hơi to, nhưng mà nếu như mà nó có cái chùm lông, cái lồng sắt ấy, lồng chim sắt ấy, nhưng mà quả đấy thì hơi căng.
So that's what it is. Thank goodness it's not anything. And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a... Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
And she hopped away, just like that.
Yeah. À, lấy tài liệu nó.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
Chết rồi.
Her stomach aches really bad. She was stumbling about the whole way here, so Paimon's really worried.
Why?
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry. She's the best medic we've got down here.
Trời giờ đây thôi.
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Well, that's true.
Tại sao mày lại đây?
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone imprisoned here is useless, you know?
Yeah,
Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sishuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
Ah, that's correct. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself.
Được.
Are you two also sick?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups and to pick up the medicines Miss Siegewien prescribes for us. That's you could say she fancies herself as Miss Siegewien's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Cái gì? Cái
Hey, don't start arguing now. Please, keep it civil.
okay. There's also
Hey! There's no need to fight! Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need to argue over...
But
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lives?
decision by self.
please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurier, I don't want to see your face here again
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you later, everyone.
Yeah, bye.
He just slowly walked off like that?
That's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
Rất tiếc, trong game này tao nhớ rất dài, mà dù thằng tao chưa bao giờ gặp nhưng tao vẫn biết tên nó. Đấy thì tao cũng chịu rồi. Quá năng lực đặc biệt đấy, tôi mà có năng lực này thì ngoại giao rất tốt.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like... I'll accompany you to...
Rồi, được rồi.
No.
I'm back. Did you rest like you promised?
Không, tao ngồi nghe drama rất là khá là kịch tính, khá hay, có thể đỡ hơn tí.
Thank you for getting our medicine.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days worth of medicine for you. Take one pill now and...
Okay.
Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon too.
Nên là con này làm đây thì nó vẫn có được câu bon, chung là cũng đồ Việt này. Rồi thì các bạn là tốt hay là không tốt thì bạn nhìn vào cái trình độ là bạn biết liền. Các bạn là bây giờ tôi vẫn chưa nhìn thấy trình độ nên cũng đâu phán xét được. Con này thì dễ thương nên cho khỏe.
I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double... Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest? Paimon can answer the question. So her primary symptoms are abdominal pain with... Alright then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds? No, her base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure she'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods. And don't stay up too late at night.
Làm sao mà biết được đây là nai hay là đây kiểu nó tôi cũng cần phải giải thích nữa bởi vì cái điều có hiển nhiên rồi, các bạn nhìn các bạn biết rồi. Là vấn đề là tôi có thể giả bệnh được, kiểu tôi kiểu và hôm nay qua hôm nay đỉnh Cơ bản đấy là vì mẹ tôi dễ thôi, còn mẹ tôi mà gác quá thì tôi mới đi.
Got it. Paimon will hold the traveler to that for sure.
Tại vì thời học sinh mà ai mà không giỏi bệnh thì đấy không phải học sinh, súc vật. Vì không, thực ra thì cũng không nên nói thế, bởi vì có vài đứa bạn của tôi nó cũng là thế. Ừ. Ừ. Có thể gọi những người đấy là những vị thánh, bởi vì tôi không bao giờ làm được với họ, khó lắm kinh khủng lắm. Những người bạn tôi học buổi sáng 6 giờ dậy học, đi đến trường, rồi học từ 7 giờ đến 4 giờ chiều, rồi về nhà lúc 4:30 nhá. Thế ăn cái gì đấy xong rồi lại đi học thêm đến 9 giờ, kiểu 5 giờ đến cho thêm, học đến 9 giờ, đứa học đến 10 giờ mới phát sách về, vãi cúp. Không nhìn trong cái schedule nó chịu, không thể nào tưởng tượng được, unbelievable. Đấy chỉ là anh sống.
Oh, you're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get some rest.
Yeah, we woke up trên hơi rồi.
We've been to lots of places together. She may look a bit under the weather now, but she's actually super. Oh, so you're the best of them.
Trường kinh homework.
Ah, you're awake.
Yeah.
How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never left. Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take the meds regularly, and don't forget bland foods.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Sijuin.
Không tệ lắm. Xin chào cho. Không lên, không lên. Thực ra là những người tuân thủ theo cái này là cái gì? Hả? À, này gửi thư. Nhưng cũng đây là phòng để mà làm cái tác vụ gì đấy khá hay. Để confirm cháy như phi phai, lửa chùa, túi sách. Ra tôi nói ở đây lại về đây ngủ à?
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death. No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, go take my grilled fish and put down the Adeptus Temptation now. Paimon talked with Sijuin the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual.
Ừ. Có thể là ở chỗ mình có.
Whoa, you really are super.
Có thể là thế. Đó. Có người đưa thư đến. Action happen to pass by blah blah. Nghĩa là đưa thông tin. Nhà đẻ right. Hoạt động trong tù nó cũng được này. Phải thấy phết. Yeah. Let me.
Hmm?
Tôi bị TB dưới đấy à?
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
Có, tao bị đau bụng, có gì không?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That we've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days.
Wait, what?
You already went above. Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same face. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Raymond hopes everything's
Perhaps that's true. You're both very good people. You've mentioned before that you've had some run-ins with the Fatui.
Well, everyone could use some more friends.
Since I see you as friends, then it's even more important for us to glad to hear it.
Ok.
Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine.
Is now really a good time to go?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows this as well, so this should be a good time to meet up with her.
Ai?
Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an...
Okay, then let's...
Thực ra thì những cái điều đấy thì tôi cũng không có bất ngờ lắm, bởi vì cơ bản là tôi chỉ làm quả side effect thôi. Bởi vì nó phải là điều phải xảy ra, đơn giản là gì là đường ống này trông có vẻ có thể không chặt, bởi vì với hơn nhiều ngày, kiểu hơn chục ngày ở trong tù thì có thể nhận biết được cái điều đấy rất là dễ. Yeah.
Lynette should be here right now. Huh. Strange.
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agree unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here.
Okay.
Nhanh lên, chúng ta có vài phút thôi. Nhanh nào.
There are some books here. Advanced. These sure are some interesting books. Who knew she even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings.
Seems quite normal to me. These are...
Giường.
None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in. Except that one over there.
Vâng.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be...
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly... Which means...
Chui xuống luôn. Investigate.
We saw it before.
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure. Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper.
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass."
This is...
Is that all? The back. This...
Show me!
Quả panic quá.
That look on your face. Paimon's reading it now. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? Could she have... Is she...
Writhsley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't...
Yes, that is a crucial question. Writhsley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Why did he only go after... Don't panic, just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now. Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means the fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds. Could Wriothesley have let him go as well?
What does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
In the mid from bushes.
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down.
Yo, bro, come down, bro.
Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I'll go talk to...
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
Beneran
I
nih.
simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted. I have to go. I'll...
Ah, shit.
After him!
Let's go. Ah.
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require
Is that so?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help!
Căng nhỉ.
Whoa, are you okay?
What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. Oh my! What's wrong, little... Being able to read human expressions is quite... Lenny! Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him.
Rồi em ơi.
He's already
Chạy.
out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's
Now.
office.
Vãi, mình chạy thẳng vào office của nó. Thế thì không quả nếu mà nhảy như tôi thì quả lính gác cũng không nhìn thấy đâu. Quả đấy thì điên quá. Dude.
Come out and face me, Wriothesley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start. So you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette.
Mày kể hết trời ơi.
As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortresses. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody.
Wait, you can't mean you locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Nó cũng đồng nghĩa đấy, yeah.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
Nhưng mà không nghĩa là mày mày có thể gọi nó lên một cách rất bình thường và mày nói sự việc này. Mày có cần phải bắt cóc không? Đúng. Vì thằng này thì cơ bản là tôi nghĩ là nó cũng sẽ nắm bắt được những cái vấn đề cốt lõi cơ bản nhất của tôi với lại thằng Inet. Thằng kế bên tôi, thằng Nam.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret?
Vấn đề ở đúng rồi.
Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Linny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress. I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
Okay.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5,
Wait,
2, 1. Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Linney.
Chịu thôi.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't touch...
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws.
Ok.
Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found, I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request.
Yeah.
Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near their productions. The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged... We often see Miss Sijuin observing... The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently. According to Collins, the
Nhớ
The Fonta promoter...
nhiều quá. Hết luôn kìa.
We often see Miss Sijuin According to Collins, The research note said that the Fonta's internal reports suggest... The Fonta promoter has been struggling. I've been told that the Fonta promoter has been struggling. I've been told that the infirmary is open. The Fonta promoter has... We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near their production. According to Collins, the research note said that...
Thôi thôi, có đéo gì.
I've been told that the infirmary is old. We often see Miss Sijuin... Fonta's internal reports suggest that... I've been told that the infirmary is...
Ủa, chịu mà này tôi không chịu, tôi không thể nữa này. Ủa.
So that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now. The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, she often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her Sijuin has only been unfortunate. The recipients... Are we on the right...
Not bad. You've uncovered... Alright, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration ring, including the one that you're not...
I've been told that the infirmary is always... We often see Miss Sijuin observe... Fonta's internal report... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. The research note said that... According to Collins, the...
Rồi chiều nha này bóng ra đường chúng không cùng dưới này.
Fonta's internal reports... We often see Miss Sijuin... According to Collins...
Tốt quá.
I've been told that the infirmary... We often see Miss Sijuin observe... The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very... We often see Miss Sijuin... The research note said... The Fonta promoter has been struck. Fonta's internal report... I've been told that the Fonta's internal report. The Fonta promoter has. According to Collins, the
Mình tốn thời gian thôi. Còn gì? Chịu.
Everyone gets this rule too now. So that hidden rule of the pancreation ring is about how people are not supposed to bet on both boxes. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet to be named and packaged new Fonta trial product. A blood red drink. It's no wonder even Fonta's own staff were questioning the company's decision. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received by customers. They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Duke, knowing and so...
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing, although based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company.
Cái này tôi không hiểu lắm.
And here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed. You'll pay for this!
Sẽ bị boxing.
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigeween. That was a fantastic shot.
There was nothing, Your Grace. Sigeween, though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually...
Sigeween.
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress. When Monsieur Nervilette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervilette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
My dear Sigeween, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you. What are you talking about?
Take me if you want. Let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigeween, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You.
I believe I hear footsteps.
Yeah, đó là hai người này.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Cloran.
Fremine.
Bye.
What's going on? What is Cloran doing here?
Work.
Work. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linny. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
Là nó không chết rồi.
Flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough...
I'll talk to Clorand while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
Yeah. Nó dùng elemental skill and heal.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigeween may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linny again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has... I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. but if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought.
Ừ.
He must have recognized it early on and tried desperate.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on...
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Ok.
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Không nghĩ là tóc mày lúc ướt là nó trông như thế đâu. Ừ.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered. Sorry.
Ok.
I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Là vậy là nước biển nó đang dâng lên.
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
Wow. Cay lại bị lừa ấy.
Liddy, are you okay?
Tôi bị lừa.
I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but...
I'm back, everyone.
Vậy
Oh, Traveler, Paimon. Fremine?
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
làm gì mày trồng ngược nó xuống để mà nó sẽ ói ra xong
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette?
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
Come on, man. Lagi nó xuống.
Duke and Clarander gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the...
Mày muốn tao làm cái gì? TB. Uầy, ác 4 này hay thật. Nhưng mà quả sâu đấy thì tôi cũng không biết phải nói sao nữa. Nói chung là ác 3 làm quen nhà tù, ác 4 là giải mã nhà tù. Rồi ác 5 là giải mã cái việc là Rimo Jamesy nó xuất hiện khắp nơi trên cái biển nước đấy. Xong con kia nó sẽ bị sacrifice, nó sẽ kiểu Alabachap, oh yeah, vậy. Tôi nghĩ là như thế, tôi không chắc đâu. Yeah. Cái gì vậy?
He's awake. Fremine, how...
Lynette.
We're all here.
The infirmary at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling...
Traveler. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Nguồn nước này. Là không nên bơi, không nên bơi. Quả nước mà tạo ra các sinh vật thì ở đấy hơi ảo. San vùng lửa chắc quả lửa tạo lên các sinh vật nữa thì cũng lại luôn.
I'm in.
Không có flút lắm đâu.
Where could Master Child be?
Rồi tôi
Frost is coming.
nó luôn nằm rồi. Gỡ ra. Oh my.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Ai cứ vân lên xong rồi cho nó quay lại là ok. Chi cho nó phức tạp nhỉ.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
Rồi phải cho nó xuống và tôi sẽ gạt qua trước. Thế là quế nữa. Gạt qua trước rồi nâng nó lên. Cái gì vậy? Cũng là Bender.
This is where the water starts. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
Nhảy xuống luôn à?
Getting here. Pair.
Nhưng mà con này nó có vision mà, con này nó có vision thì nó có lo.
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. The traces are gone, but I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait, what the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on?
Cái nào dưới nước mà trông nó có vision mà có đây không?
no good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Biến thành một con cá. Bro, almost there.
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse. I have to push on.
Ngứa là vẫn thực ra bạn nín thở thì nó vẫn gọi là nó vẫn chưa vào của bạn đâu, các bạn là nó chỉ limited thôi, nhưng mà nó sẽ gây ra cảm giác là bạn muốn kiểu sặc nước vào mũi như vậy. Bạn trồng ngược hay bạn làm gì nó cũng không có gây ra, nó không sặc vào ở đâu trừ khi bạn hạ, nghĩa là bạn cố gắng bạn, nói chung là bạn cố gắng bạn thở ấy thì giờ nó sẽ sộc thẳng vào phổi luôn. Là như thế, vì tôi thử tôi chứng minh vậy ok đấy, tôi sao tôi ngu vậy, đúng là non knowledge đôi khi nó cũng là một cái gì đó cái sơ.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly...
Miss Clarande, you say?
You're still too weak for Monet. You can...
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss...
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who...
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on.
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Money.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you.
Thank you.
Okay, I can do it myself because I only alone and I can fight myself. Được rồi, chuyện là nào làm bố tao hello đấy, mà bố tao kêu gì gì tao đòi oh no ai chăm được có trời đi xẹp tôi nghĩ là vào office thì sẽ bị chặn các thứ, cũng không bị chặn lắm, rồi nó cũng khá là thoáng. Đi nhanh nào hôm nay tôi học sớm ít sớm cho học công hóa giá cũng phê đấy. Yo bro.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has...
Of course! I wouldn't have left the infirmary.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegewin?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarande.
Mostly fine.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with...
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your...
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's Lenny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape. But in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you!
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede, the Forbidden Zone has always been Lenny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison?
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask, who invited—
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts.
Thì có thể nó ở đấy sao?
All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
Sao mày phải che giấu cái khu vực đấy để?
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah.
Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Yeah.
Follow me.
Thì ra nhưng mà chúng ta biết cái chỗ đấy là cái chỗ biết thì chứ ai mà biết được. Cái này tầm này đấy. Giữa. Là phải chắc là nhảy xuống đi bộ thôi. Có thể đi ra ngoài cổng mà what the hell. Hello. Bấm tùm lum. Người da đen. Rồi. Rồi, phải đi theo nó. Cái gì ấy. Nhìn chết nào. Rồi. Wow.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Rise.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede.
Yeah. Mà mày nhắc tao. Không nhớ đâu.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Chắc nó phải củ lắm nó mới kêu như thế. Yeah. Rồi đây là gì đây?
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see it. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether...
Rốt con chỉ léo rồi không?
So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Ba cái cửa Gnosis.
They all just went up one by
Gnosis.
one.
Go on, have a...
Gnosis. Đó là Gnosis tôi biết rồi.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply... The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking it. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking? Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress,
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
and that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Đây là nguồn. Nơi này là nguồn.
Yes. That's right.
What? Forget about the two of us! Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak.
Seems like you've figured it out. I
Yeah.
believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say.
But that's just too weird!
Đây là Gnosis là không tồn tại.
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." So, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, the Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their... But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their... After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress.
But now you know every part of that history.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then to be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from... Prophecies are troublesome things. Let's go somewhere else.
Rosis, cảm ơn. Thì số tao ở đấy tao cũng không biết đấy. Tao thấy ba cái đấy rồi, bốn nhỉ.
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last.
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about.
I'm skeptical as well. Are you
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research.
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not a local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters.
You want to blow up the fort?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier, you...
Ooh, are they together?
Yeah.
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and...
Your Grace, I am not in a...
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget it, follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
Có thể chứ nhỉ? Cuộc sống mới mà, ai biết nó sẽ có gì.
Everyone really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What the fuck is that?
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much at all.
Tao không biết gì cả, cảm ơn.
Maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
Không.
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try.
Yêu cho thôi. Tôi nghĩ là tôi không tin.
So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless... All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea. Seems like you're good.
Ok. Hiểu. Đơn này rất nhiều. Tao rất biết ơn vì điều đấy và xong chapter chưa, tao cần một thời gian ngắn để giao qua phim và tao đi ngủ. Cảm ơn.
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh,
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
yeah. We'll put a lot of thought into
Great.
Ok, bố. Kể cho mọi người nghe về biết bí mật của mày. Rằng mày mặt xịt. Màu hồng. Yeah.
We're back!
Welcome back.
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it,
While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacup.
Must have been Risley and Siege.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them.
I really can't make sense of this.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijuin is also busy with...
All right.
Bây giờ của ta thôi.
I'll posit my theories. I asked myself three. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because...
Ooh, he's good.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been... What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's...
You're super...
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. That can't be the full... I don't have an...
So blah blah blah.
The sea will engulf it.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to... If you remember,
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, the two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for... If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through...
Thank you for protecting...
why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Given your strength, you might not need our help at...
Paimon's hungry.
Okay.
You've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys enough.
Lại ăn rút để ăn để béo với con lợn rồi bố mày bán mày ra chợ lớn để lấy thịt trắng thì trắng và thịt trắng bốc như mấy con thịt bạch tạng luôn, ăn vào thơm ngon rồi.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler, Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner? What would you like to eat? Here, pecan. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like. Me too, no problem.
Leave it to me. Xong vài nhiệm vụ chắc chạy nhiệm vụ thì rồi đi ngủ luôn. Wow. Không biết không?
So delicious.
Thì...
Is this how it feels to be feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious. I'm so... Sijuin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand a bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want... You're really good at taking care of people. Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear. Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings and... Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Glorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clarand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linney as well. You were all super
Cũng hợp lý.
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very...
Village thì ra thì đi Village cũng có nhiều tiền lắm hiểu không? Chào con. Sắp hết 45 ngày đấy. Cho bố về. Mà phải đánh nhau quá nhiều.
So much has happened. I'm super sleepy.
Tức là
Delicious.
à, không phải là con này ôm con ngủ à? Tưởng ôm cái gì cứ teo hơn.
Get out of my way! What happened? Why is everyone running?
Được rồi.
No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking.
Oh my god, something is...
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
Được cập quyền chiến sĩ vật tổ. Chuyện gì đang xảy ra vậy? Thế các bạn, tôi đang bị tuột vào cái cảm ơn. Hey yo, what happened man? Có phải là nhà tôi bị ngập không?
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Okay.
Hey, wait!
Gì
What's
vậy?
wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! There you are! Oh, thank goodness!
Crystal and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and out.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey!
We have to go by the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Phóng tanh.
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer.
Tôi sẽ chạy cũng hay, có detail. Tự nhiên thấy mấy nhân vật NPC đi bình thường và rất thật. Bình thường. Có chuyện gì xảy ra không vậy?
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Có chuyện.
Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
Nhưng mà nó là nước mà.
The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Nó có nhiều cách để mà bảo vệ không? Tại vì thứ nhất là mực nước ở cái cổng nó có thể là nhiều tầng tầng khác nhau nhưng mà phủ ra overflow. Học bố này.
Traveler, I need you to head to the opera house. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time on. Will do. You have.
Nhiều thế, qua xì ven đéo lắm thế. Đây là cái quest dài nhất. Nó giờ khá dài. Nhớ đồ bà từ.
Look, there are a ton of Fontaine. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, man.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests.
Of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this?
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your...
I've
already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
Con đã ăn đâu, what the hell?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Eudex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since child
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirabede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Mirabede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
Không có gì. Yes.
That is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come.
Huh? I don't quite understand what...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Why?
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
Very good.
The sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Rồi gì đây? Đến lúc cái gì đây? Tôi không hiểu nữa. Bây giờ là như là H5 là như là
All right. Seems like the problem inside...
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But oh,
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you...
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for a period.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking...
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be...
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codicy.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Marmonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbin.
căng Còn là đến stage 2 là stage như nào được, chắc là kết thúc ảo ở đây, kết thúc cái cờ này. Thôi để mẹ đi ngủ, chết được đi ngủ.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house, Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's accept? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Heart have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
Và với mọi chứng cứ thì em có thể là đúng.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me.
Okay.
Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
Nó sẽ chứng minh.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable...
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
Làm gì có disaster nào xảy ra đâu, nó đã được ngăn chặn rồi. Và mày chỉ đang cố gắng một bom công ty ra thôi. Mày là con khốn. Fuck you.
An emergency response plan?
Thực ra con này cũng tốt nha. Cơ bản cứ nghĩ là nó xấu hơn, tôi thấy nghĩ là nó tốt đấy, không có gì tôi chịu được.
That look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is...
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Arc? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose...
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will.
Okay.
Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please... Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise.
Okay.
You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer. Paimon's super...
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table, and I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too.
Quest quá dài và mày nên giải thích cho những gì mà mày những gì mà nó hỏi đi, tao không biết giải thích như nào đấy. Bởi vì sao? Vấn đề là gì? Bạn nên hiểu là như thế này, không có chứng cứ và con này nó cũng buộc tội không có chứng cứ, thế nên là vấn đề gì là vấn đề, không có vấn đề gì cả. Nếu như mà mọi thứ không có chứng cứ thì nhất là con này nó nói là tất cả mọi thứ đang diễn ra là đang chống lại nó là đúng luôn đấy, nhưng mà vấn đề là con Furina này nó có thể chứng minh lại được. Nhưng mà vấn đề cơ bản nó là thảo luận đưa nhau ra tòa, nó chỉ có hai cái đấy thôi. Thì tôi nghĩ là con Furina có thể dẫn chứng được, bởi vì nếu mà nó chết thì số cua nó con này là playable.
That you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formals. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still...
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them.
You mean Ridesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina?
Nói nhiều vãi lồn.
You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She...
Oh, come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But but I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from... It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of...
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me. I'm begging you, please.
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article.
Anh ba hay thật, con này có thể là một playable character thì khá là thông minh này. Và kiểu gì nó đánh bại thì việc đánh bại thì cơ bản nó cũng sẽ không thảm bằng cái con kia phế vãi cứt, nó quá phế. Cái con ở bên Inazuma quá phèn, con này quá phèn so với con này có tính toán hơn, chiều sâu hơn rất nhiều. Con kia bị chém phát chết luôn. Con này
I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, the initiative belongs.
Okay, enough for your disciplinary. Bây giờ tao có thể đi ngủ được chưa?
You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from me.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened. I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette... I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the... Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require. It is, however, quite amusing. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save the... Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise... You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve. And as your name is on noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that's... Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But you can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief, and now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so surprised.
Neuvillette, are you the...
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Một mũi to với cứt, tôi nghĩ là đám kia có thể nghe đâu. Nhé.
Right, of course. There's still something...
Please, go.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragon. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authority.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, we'll see you another time.
Take care.
Yes, sir. Cái lòng nhàn lòng đấu xoay, cái đi xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn trong buổi stream lần sau. Đi ngủ đây, tôi mệt phải thật. Goodbye.